Today we are going to understand ASP.NET application development environment. What is empty? If you select empty, see what is happening, guys. Suppose you are selecting empty and you are going to select some view engine. I am selecting a view engine called Razor. What is Razor engine? Here you will have two view engines, ASPX engine and Razor engine. Present I am selecting Razor engine. Later classes will discuss what is the difference between these two. You have to select any one engine. I am selecting a view engine called Razor engine. Click OK button. So with this process, your new ASP.NET MVC application is creating, but you remember you are selecting empty. Okay, click OK button. Okay. Now, because of empty, what is going to happen? You try to understand. This template similar to ASP.NET empty web applications. Means in ASP.NET also you will have this empty option. The main purpose of empty is you want to create a web application without any default files. You don't want to have any default files. Every file you want to add your own. That is called empty. The same facility you have in ASP.NET empty web application also. It generates empty folders. You need to develop from the scratch. Application should be developed from the scratch. So now we will see what happened whenever you select empty. Now you can observe we entered into ASP.NET MVC empty application. We entered into ASP.NET MVC empty application development environment. Here you will have so many folders. But about all these things, by default you will have all these folders, but it is not coming with any default files, means default controllers, default models, default views. I told very clearly that ASP.NET MVC application development environment will be divided into three parts. I told very clearly ASP.NET MVC application development environment will be splitting into three modules or three parts. That is very important discussion when you are discussing about MVC. Again, I am repeating, it was already discussed last three classes. So, due to the sake of newcomers, I am explaining about this. What is that? 1 minute. Yeah. Now that is one is called model, another one is called view. Yeah. 1 minute. So I think pen board is not working today. Okay. Without this, I try to explain. Right. What is this? Already we have diagram. Don't worry. Same ASP.NET MVC application architecture diagram we have. What is the diagram? I'm going to show you. Instead of drawing the diagram, I'm showing the diagram which is already exists in our material. So, right. This is the architecture, MVC diagram. In ASP.NET MVC or any MVC application will contain three modules. Are you getting my voice, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One is controller, view and model. Model will contain the data access logic, the logic which is communicating the database. View will contain the UI logic, means appearance logic. Controller will contain the execution logic. Request will come to the controller. Controller will process the request. Based on the request, it will forward to either view or model. And again, view will respond to controller. Controller will give the output to the browser. Otherwise, if the request required database access, then controller will forward the request to model. Model will communicate the database, will get the output, will give to the controller. Again, controller will give to the view. Again, view will generate the output and will give to the controller, will give to the controller, will give to the browser. In this way, here you can observe in MVC, your application contains 3 modules. Okay, here data access logic, here UI logic, here you have execution logic. So the thing is, for these 3 modules, here you have 3 folders. Okay, controllers logic files will be under this folder. Models related logic like data access logic files will be in this folder. Views files means the views of MVC files means UI files will be available in the views folder. But here important point is, can you tell me, right, controller will contain what logic, guys? Execution. Execution logic you write by using which language? C#. With this we can say within the controller file extension will be .cs, because C#.NET class file extension will be .cs, and models will contain the data access code. Data access code can be ADO.NET code or link code or entity framework code, whatever code it is, but that code we will write by using which language? Which language? What is a language? What is a .NET language we will use? C#. Due to that reason, models file extension will be also .cs. Okay. Next, third one, views will contain the view UI code. UI will contain which code? HTML, JavaScript, and so on. So that views extension will be, file extension will be in MVC, in ASP.NET MVC .cs HTML. So that is the story. But present it is an empty application. Due to that reason, this doesn't have any files. You observe, it doesn't have any controller file default, any model file, any views file. That is the story about what application? Empty application, empty template. So here, by the time of creating ASP.NET MVC application, we have various sub templates. Among that, right now we have selected one sub template. The sub template name is what? Empty. When you create empty, it will not come with any default files. It will have all the skeleton of the application, and using the skeleton application, you have to develop the application from the scratch. Every file you should add. For beginners, empty is the best without having any confusion with the existing and old files. Now coming to the second template is called basic.